Welcome to lesson 1 of the 2D motion graphics in Blender course. In this lesson, we'll learn how to download Blender, install it, and perform a quick setup so we have everything up and running for our 2D motion graphics projects. Let's begin then. Lesson 1.1, Download and Setup. So there's something worth noting before we proceed. Blender is 100% free. Yes, you don't have to pay any monthly subscriptions. There's no one-time payment. There are no hidden fees, nothing. It's simply download and go. So let's get started. I'm going to show you two ways to get Blender. First approach, simply click the link in the description and it will take you to the official download page for Blender. On this page, simply click the download Blender 3.2.1. That's the version I'll be using anyways. Once your download is complete, you can simply go down to the chapters on this video and skip to the setup chapter of the lesson. Click on Download Blender at the left of the screen to begin the download. You should see a page like this if done correctly. Now let's talk about the second approach if for some funny reason the link isn't opening. Simply open your favorite browser and type in blender.org. It should bring you to this page. Over here, click Download Blender and wait for your download to begin. Once again, you should see a page like this if done correctly. Let's do a quick recap of the things we said we were going to learn. So we've downloaded Blender. The next step is to install it, which is pretty simple. Let's do that next. Lesson 1.2, Installation. Look for the download setup. It is usually at the bottom left of your browser. If you can't find it, simply pressing Ctrl+J brings up your download history for that browser. Click it and run the installation. Read through, then accept the GN general public licenses if you agree. I usually just like to go with the default installation settings. I recommend you do same. We'll wait for the download to finish now. Ta-da! We are done now. Okay, so we've downloaded Blender, installed it. Now it's time for a quick setup. Lesson 1.3, Quick Setup. Look for the Blender file on your computer and open it. You will be brought to this splash screen. Over here, I want you to look at the third row where it says select with left, right. So currently it's on left. That is what a lot of people are familiar with. They are familiar with selecting things with the left. However, in Blender, it's typically the opposite and we select with the right click mouse button instead. I know it's weird, but with time you would get used to it. Why do I want you to switch from the left to the right? Well, honestly, the major reason is because majority of the tutorials out there are set up with select with the right. So it makes it a whole lot easier to learn from other instructors in the future. Remember, as I said, it's going to be frustrating in the beginning, but eventually you would get used to it. Now come over to where it says right and select that instead. Don't worry about the other settings. I will explain them when it's time to use them. So now simply come to Save New Settings and click that so that we don't have to be doing this every time we open Blender. And that's it. This brings us to the end of today's lesson. Quick recap of all we've talked about. We downloaded Blender from the official website. We installed it. We performed a quick setup to make sure that it's ready to work for us the way we want to. In the next lesson, we are going to be learning about the user interface and navigation. See you in lesson 2 then.